Hi everyone, my name's Declan McGlynn and we're super excited today to be joined by the brothers Brodanse, who'll be taking their new live show to London's Fabric later this month. They're joining us today to give us a sneak peek at their live show setup, how it works and how they move their tracks from the studio to the club. Plus they'll be creating a brand new track on the fly for us, no pressure guys. If you want to learn more about working with Ableton and using it to perform live, you can find out more about our Ableton courses at online.pointblanklondon.com. So welcome guys, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So we're going to just dive straight into it. This is your Ableton session.
Yeah.
And you've brought along with you some stuff you use to perform live, right?
Yeah, there's just a few bits from the studio.
Okay.
TR-8, Ableton Push, 9-channel controls, and our iPad as well.
Cool.
And then back at the studio, we'd normally have, there's a Minibrute, and then the Juno 106, and an Electribe.
Yeah.
But we've recorded a few of these things in for this.
Right, so you just sample
session.
the instruments from the studio?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to make it a bit easier. I mean, on here we're just using a operator on Ableton just to imitate the Minibrute, but usually for our live we'll record all the audio in.
Right, okay, cool.
And then what we've got here is all we would take down to the club, so nothing else from the studio, except for probably the sound card, and that would be it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So do you want to introduce this track and maybe give us a listen to what it sounds like?
Yeah, this is a new one from us called Reactivate, and it will be coming out on our label next month. So that's it, recorded, mixed, or arranged, mixed, mastered, final copy ready for cut.
Mm-hmm.
And this is sort of where it began. So here I've got 6 channels here, and this is all coming in via the USB on the TR-8, that's the great thing about this, is you can split one cable, 14, splits across 14 channels on here, every sound, all controllable, all mixable.
So the one we're going to play now will obviously sound a bit different because we wanted to kind of do something a bit live and just show you how we might come to some sounds and hopefully people can pick a few things up. So it's not quite what we just heard, but you'll get this sort of.
Yeah, sure. So this is more a representation of what you did on the day when you were jamming around.
Yeah. So the first thing we do would be, I mean, this is how we like to go, is just get a bit of a beat going really, just to give us some sort of rhythm to work with. And then from there we generally build up the track. So first, so we've already put this sort of this pattern in.
So if you can see on the screen on Ableton, it's all coming in through the one USB. Yeah, it's split across got the 3 channels here, and as we add more, they're going to go across the open hats, the crash, and the rise. And then whilst Austin's sort of maybe programming, tuning, getting things kind of into shape really, I can start with the push and the iPad and the iControl. Just start to kind of bring in bass, just so that while he's working, it's changing a bit so he doesn't get so bored, and I don't know, it just keeps it interesting. So let me see.
Maybe if you want, we could we could show you. I mean, these are some chords we set up just before, but if you want, like, how we would go about just sort of finding something and putting in something, if you want, with that would.
So the way that worked for the chord, so we'll just solve it just so you can hear it. This sound, it's basically just the sampler on Ableton, and then I've got if I search here, stab. So I've got a few that come up here just on that are in the computer, and
Let's try that. Look at that. That's quite
yeah. So I'll just duplicate this one. So just drag it in, changes it like that, and then we can. If I on here now. Be. Okay, so it's then I've got a few different bits on here, some EQ.
This generally seem is what the first things we would go to. Everyone's got their own sort of preferences, if you like.
Yeah, sure thing.
So together with this new chord sound. Sort of maybe quite like them. And then just check that, a little bit of over there, quantize it, Command U, and then
One quite good thing to do, I mean, first of all, get happy with your sounds, I would say, and then pretty much just hit record, because there's times you might record something great, and then come back to it and you can't maybe quite get it again, or you can't quite remember because it is all quite loopy and, you know, a lot of it sounds the same, but, you know, it could just be a little bit different and it's not quite right.
yeah, try and record as much as possible, audio, and then it's locked in, and you know you've always got it.
Yeah, that's also quite good. What we often do is then also, of course, as Scott says, is record the audio, opposed to just going with the MIDI on the TR-8.
Yeah, because you're sending MIDI to the TR-8, and then you can just tweak on. You're not actually using the step sequencer. Here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then commit to audio. Yes,
Yeah.
as early as possible.
It's quite good to commit to audio. It kind of forces your hand a little bit, and it makes decisions almost for you that you.
Yeah,
I know a lot of producers, they sort of, and even us included, just kind of always wanting to tweak and perfect and everything like that, and it's better to just
quite a
move
nice
on.
tip maybe to have, say, some limits or some like a box and not be totally free to do everything. Create some sort of barriers so it forces you to stay within them, and then you're going to get something done. Right. You know, you can't tweak everything.
Yeah.
You know,
just
use these sort of presets or that audio. Yeah. Gets you something. Simplifying it is really important, and to maybe not give yourself that potential to trip up.
Yeah,
We spent quite a lot of time going to different clubs and seeing different acts that we like, and watching their live performance. Pretty much like going in
secret notes.
Maybe not having more than others to drink, and just having like you know, sort of taking a few mental notes and just watching how, you know, what stuff's going wrong for some people and what gets the best reactions and things, and just really picking up from different live acts and seeing how we can pull all those in and make something super strong.
Cool. So shall we take a look at your live set?
That's good.
Yeah,
let's go. So let's imagine. So just to clarify, what we do is we would have this jam now, and then we would move to the arrangement. And we would try and get first arrangement, and we will just bounce it down, just like try and finish the track. It's not going to be perfect for sure, but bounce it down into some sort of track. I put it on in the car, we put it on in the gym, and get an idea of what's good and what's not. Because after a while of just sitting in a studio, hearing that same thing everything sounds good. I've had stuff and it sounds great.
Yeah.
One night, and then I go back in the morning, it's awful. So bounce it down, and then from there we can maybe do that second arrangement and that mix down, and try and limit it to just a few sessions. Keep it moving, keep it interesting. Because when you're visiting back and forth for months, you're gonna get bored of the track. You don't want to hear it out and stuff. That's important. So now we've flipped over to the so that track is done, and it's now going into our what will be our live set.
In the house, 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 in the house.
So yeah, guys, that was amazing. Is that what the kind of thing you're going to do at Fabric then at the end of the month?
Yeah, that was just like a short kind of 5-minute. We sort of went through the tracks quite quickly then.
5 songs in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But we'll be building them up a bit more and adding a bit more kind of special effects to them, and yeah,
It should be like an hour set, and of course it's going to be our debut one, so we want to go straight in at the deep end and make it nice and easy.
Throw yourself in, and the lineup's pretty daunting as well for you guys. But who are you playing alongside?
Yeah, there's Nina Kravitz, Midland, Bytone, Joey Anderson, Marcel Detman, Lauhaus, Denny, and us.
Nice.
So it should
a
be
bit of a roadblock. So we're doing a DJ set, and the live set, and we're hosting it with the label, like a record label night.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So we're really excited about. So we're spending the next 4 weeks, literally just working on this.
Behind locked doors.
Yeah, and it's going to be the first one we record as well of our live set. So I think that was the first time anyone outside of us would have seen it. Everyone watching now.
This is the sort of first.
Well,
go gentle on the feedback. Just to quickly clarify, I mean, we only picked up all this at the beginning of the year, and we were on Logic before. So, if you've got some ideas, this is such a great way to just get them going and, be creative and get some flow going.
And most people have got the iPads these days, and there's an app called Touchable, and I think it was about maybe £30, and it works perfectly with Ableton. And you can sort of walk around, make a private network on your computer to your iPad, and just sort of jam away and play like instruments like you would. So it's sort of in addition to this, you can have extra controls, and it's really intuitive. It's definitely recommended.
As we said before, to get an idea of what you want to do, go to the clubs, go and see the people playing. Maybe if you get the opportunity, ask them what they're doing. We certainly did that.
Yeah.
And
go and get a few pointers, and most guys are.
And then apply it to what you're trying to do. And most people are pretty safe about these things.
There's no real secret.
It's just after once they get going.
Exactly. Like, well, cool.
Yeah. So if you guys want to learn more about studying Ableton and performing for yourself, you can come and learn Ableton live here at Point Blank, or you can study with us online. And to learn more about that, visit our online school at online.pointblanklondon.com.